Their mother ran mad after giving birth to the second child. She left home one night, barefoot and singing to herself, and never came back. People said it was spiritual attack. Some said it was from too much thinking and not enough help. But for Sade and her brother Ayo, it didn't matter what caused it. All that mattered was that their mother was gone, their baby sister was gone, and the only thing left was a father who drank more than he spoke. That was how a 12-year-old girl became a mother, and a boy with too many questions became her burden and her reason to live. The small compound at Orita Challenge was always noisy in the morning, chickens running around, babies crying, and the radio from the next flat shouting news in Yoruba. But inside one small room at the back, Sade and her brother Ayo were quiet. Sade tied her school uniform skirt, which was already faded from too many washes. Ayo, sitting on the mat, was still half asleep. "Wake up," she said, tightening her belt. "You'll be late again." He groaned. "I am not going." "You are, and you'll not give me trouble today. Do you hear me?" Ayo didn't answer. He was 14 but already taller than her, with restless eyes and scars on his knees from street fights. Sade was 16, but she had lived like an adult since she was 12, since the night their mother ran into the streets, screaming at the moon. That night was still clear in her memory. Their mother had just given birth to their baby sister, but something changed. She stopped sleeping, she talked to herself, she laughed when nothing was funny. Then one evening, she dropped the baby on the bed and walked out barefoot into the night. They found her 3 days later near the old market, singing and clapping. She didn't know who they were. Their father brought her home once, but she ran again, and this time she never came back. Then, when their baby sister got sick a few weeks later, their father didn't have money for medicine. She died before dawn. That was the day Sade stopped being a child. Now, every day had a routine. School in the morning, work at Mama Lake's canteen in the evening, homework at night when she wasn't too tired to keep her eyes open. Their father was around, but not really. He spent his days drinking, telling anyone who would listen how life cheated him. When Sade brought home money, he would sometimes take it. He always promised to pay her back, but he never did. Ayo saw it all, and it hardened him. He started skipping school, hanging out with older boys near the motor park. They gave him free food and taught him things he shouldn't know. One afternoon, the school called again. Sade stood in front of the principal, clutching her bag. Ayo had been caught throwing stones at a teacher's car. The principal shook his head. You are a good girl, Sade, but your brother is walking a bad road. You must talk to him." She nodded, eyes full of shame. When they got home, she shouted at him for the first time. "Why are you doing this to me, Ayo? I work, I beg, I try my best." He shouted back,
"You are not my mother. Stop acting like one."
That night, she didn't eat. She just lay on the mat, staring at the ceiling. Outside, their father's drunken singing filled the air. 2 weeks later, everything broke. Ayo didn't come home one evening. Sade searched everywhere, the park, the school field, even the police station. No one had seen him. The next morning, one of the boys from his street gang came running. They caught him. They said he stole someone's phone at the market. Sade ran there barefoot. When she arrived, she saw a small crowd. Ayo was on the ground, his shirt torn, his face swollen. A woman was shouting, "Thief! Useless boy!" Sade pushed through the crowd, stood in front of him and shouted, "He's my brother, please, he's a child." She knelt on the ground, crying, begging the traders to let him go. Finally, one elderly man stepped forward and said, "Let the boy go, he's not a hardened one yet." They released him. Sade pulled him up. He was shaking. He didn't look at her all the way home. That night, she washed his wounds and didn't speak a word. Halfway through, he started to cry. "I didn't steal it," he said quietly. "My friend did. I just followed him." She looked at him, tears in her eyes. "I know, but look at what following has done to you." He wiped his face. "I miss Mama." Sade stopped. She hadn't heard him say that name in years. "I do too," she whispered. The next Sunday, she decided to take him to see her. People in the area still said they sometimes saw their mother wandering near the big junction, talking to herself, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying. They walked there slowly, carrying food and water. They found her sitting under a tree near the roadside, singing an old lullaby, the same one she used to sing when they were small. Her clothes were torn, her hair messy, but her face was still gentle. Sade knelt in front of her. "Mama," she said softly. The woman stopped singing and looked at her with blank eyes. Then she smiled faintly. "My daughter, you came back?" Sade's heart broke. "I never left, Mama," she whispered. Ayo stood behind, staring. He couldn't speak. When she turned to look at him, her mother's eyes widened. "My son, don't fight again, oh? You'll break your sister's heart." For a second, just a second, her mind was clear. Then she started laughing again, humming to herself. Sade hugged her tightly and cried. She knew their mother might never fully return, but that moment, that one clear moment, was enough. After that day, Ayo began to change. He started helping Sade more, doing small work after school, saving coins. Sometimes they would visit their mother and sit quietly beside her. Their father never asked where they went. He didn't care to know. Months passed. Sade finished school and got a small job at a tailoring shop. Ayo still struggled in class but tried. He had stopped fighting. One evening, as they sat outside watching children play, Ayo turned to her. "Sis, do you think Mama will ever be fine again?" Sade smiled sadly. "I don't know, but she still remembers our name sometimes. That's something." He nodded, thinking, "When I grow up, I want to build a house, somewhere safe for her." She looked at him, really looked, and for the first time she saw not the boy who caused her pain, but the man he could become. She touched his shoulder gently. "Then, let's work for that." Years later, people in the neighborhood still spoke about them. The girl who became a mother too soon and the boy who nearly lost his way. But when they walked together down Orita Challenge Road, greeting neighbors and carrying food for the woman under the tree, people smiled. Because even though life had taken almost everything from them, they still had each other. And somehow, that was enough.